Good day to you. I am Dr. Lalith Mendis. I am Director, Colombo Empathic Learning Center. Today I want to talk to you about your 40, 50, 60, 80. Those years don't matter. There's something more for you to do. And every season has a half time, break time. Traditionally, of course, when you have 43 years, it's called half time because you have moved from your training to your endeavor, to your success. And at 43, you're getting ready for stewardship and for significance by inputting and pouring into others, including your 15-year-old son or daughter. That's the 43 thing. It is ideal that you marry by 28 because then the two better halves, your other half has met you, and then you have time to grow together. And after 28, when you're advancing alone, the other one to come as better half and pick up together is possible, but you have delayed somewhat. But today's my talk is on those seasons in between when you feel you're not advancing and you're getting frustrated. But the first message I carried, 60, 70 or 80, God has not finished with you. The gift set, the call, the direction and what was invested in you is still going to bring you dividends. The fact of the matter is that most of the Fortune 500 companies have a CEO, their average age is 63. And our research now says a man's most productive age is between 60 and 70. Next most productive is 70 to 80. Next most productive is 50 to 60. So, don't give up on yourself. Don't do self-sabotage. Let's get ready for more. So, you are like, if you may, the example in Psalm 127, God says you are an arrow in God's arrow collection. It's called the quiver, the one the archer used to have on his back. And so we decided our life will do better when the good shepherd becomes the divine archer. He chose us, he picked us up, and in every season he fits us into the bow and the bowstring. Bow is the call God has for you, your work field, your measure. There's a Hebrew word called poga, your portion. And the bowstring is how you stretch, how much you stretch on it. And the arrow is that season of your life, your whole life, as well as that season of your life. Now see, in order to go forward, arrow is coming backward. And in that season of what looks like a backward stretch, you feel there's no momentum, but you are thinking of momentum forward. Most of us are activity addicts. We want some activity to feel that we are useful. God doesn't work only with activity. He also works in rest. He works not only with talking, he works in silence. He works in his presence very strongly, setting you up for what you have next. So when God is in a stretch backward, meaning he's drawing the arrow of your life backwards, where is he drawing it? He's drawing it to his eye, giving you better aim. He's drawing it towards his own mouth, and he's drawing and speaking to you quietly. And he's drawing you backwards, it looks like, but he's breathing upon you the breath of God. And he's giving you the God aim, coming for the next season in life. You'll make less mistakes, more productive, less hard work. Work is there, but every bit of your work is going to be profitable. So when you are being stretched backwards for the draw of the bowstring, be patient. It's a difficult time because you feel the tension of stretch. Stretch is always tension. And he is working the metal of your arrow shaft. He's making it straight, and the arrowhead is being sharpened as he draws you to yourself, and sometimes away from regular company, away from mediocre company, away from your colleagues who are working with you, because you are the senior and he has to get into you more than what they have. So you are drawn backwards for a stretch and then released for a great target. Then the activity comes, excitement comes. Some colleagues may come with human colleagues or otherwise. We know we are called to work like that. We can also use the example of the slingshot The slingshot of David's time was not like our catapult. Our catapult has that Y-shaped piece of timber on which we draw and shoot. But in David's time, the whole thing was a leather slingshot, probably 6 to 8 strings of leather, and there's a pouch. And it's long enough and strong enough to wrap around your hand, and they go running, gathering maximum momentum. So in the season of the stretch, gathering momentum, you are still not released. The smooth stone is still not released, but God is gathering momentum. And when the David kind of the catapult, the leather thong, is being turned around, you are turning around the God intention. God thoughts are being gathered into you for your next season of life. And then Goliath is there, taunting sometimes, calling you names, where he's used for 40 days of calling the king's army timid and cowards, including his 7 big brothers, but this is David. And the stone is being turned around, and he has perfected this aim. He said when he was young, I will get the last leaf of the last twig on the highest branch of the tallest tree in my territory, and he practiced aim till a leaf, 1 inch size leaf, was his target. He got it, and there was 1 inch between Goliath's shield bearer's shield and his helmet, and David got that. So in that time of being gathered for momentum, there is patience. You may think time is wasted. You may think, where is the company? It's a tense time. You hear the war cry. You feel the cause. You know there is a cost, and you know you are being called to pay the cost for the cause. You are being told to pay the price for the prize of getting your target, getting what God has for you. And then this turning around the eyes of God, around the voice of God, around the breath of God, and the running, and at that critical moment of momentum, you release it, and it goes and hits the target, and a nation is saved. You have got ready to be the next king, the next most senior, the most effective leader that your nation may have, or your company may have, your school may have, your family line may have. So it is, the God preparation. Don't fear the backward stretch, which is actually a call to arms for strength more. And if you are in a season of life beyond 40, 50, 60, even 70, know that you are unstoppable. God has not finished with you. There is more. So this is a period of the more of God that you are being prepared for. Trust the Lord. He is a good shepherd. And through adversity and different things, He will train us for what we have next. And there will be friends in adversity, friends born in adversity, friends for adversity. Then there will be friends for prosperity, friends who will keep faith with you, friends for loyalty. If there's any new friends needed, the Lord will add them to you, because in all these things, God is the captain. God is the mission leader, and He gives a mission at a time, a stretch at a time, a poga at a time, fulfilling the map He had for our life. The God scope He sent to our mother's womb in His Spirit, into this little fellow that was forming, and man became a living soul when the Spirit entered. I think it happens around about 12 weeks of that little body, and the neural tube is forming, and the heart is forming, and abortion is always murder, because the child has sentience and sense, pain. But then God has created us for greatness. And David says, God owned me in my mother's heart. And he was created in reverence and wonder. So reverence keeps us on track. Wonder helps us forward, looking for God's best and what only God can do. That's the best of human life, what God can do that I cannot. That's how I leave a lasting impression. I have said this before, all the pioneer scientists were Christians who believed God made science and His laws will produce good results for mankind. So, anesthesia, antiseptic procedures, Robert Boyle, his law on pressure and volume, Michael Faraday, his laws on electromagnetism, all. There was a God mind behind this. So I'm encouraging you today. Don't give up. Your best is yet to come. God is on the move. So are you. So don't fear the backward stretch for that equipment time, anointing time, shall I say rejuvenating time. Yes, the broken places are healed and doubts are cleared. You are given a new impetus, a new vision, sometimes a new work, or else an extension of the old work, and then your colleagues will know he is still fresh. He has still got ideas. You are not outdated because you are hearing God. You are seeing the vision of God. Breath of God is upon you. This is the season for all veterans to refire, refurbish, for God has much more. As the world is accelerating towards disasters that man is making, God is accelerating towards a lifeboat system that God is making. And you are captain of a lifeboat. 7, 8, 9, 10 joining you, and you have the oars and the skill, sight and the vision, and the hearing to steer this lifeboat to God's safety, God's greatness. So the time of huge Titanic-like ships did their work is coming to an end. Every lifeboat matters. Every citizen's godliness matters. God has a portion for every citizen who would allow God to get hold of him. As Paul said in Philippians 3:13, that for which God apprehended me, I am apprehended. May you be that man. And here I read it from Psalm 127. When God watches the city through you, the city will be safe. When God builds the city, he is also building your house. When you get together with God to build the city, your house will be automatically made. This is how you are the forward defense line in God processes. God has a plan. God has a purpose. You are also a brick in God's plan, a unit in God's plan. Psalm 127. Just listen to this and you will understand what an architect, what an engineer God is. He can always be trusted. Psalm 127. Trust his plan. Unless the Lord builds a house, they labor in vain to build it. So when we build it, God, we build a great house. When the Lord guards the city, watchman stays awake fruitfully, otherwise in vain. So we rise up to work with God's blessing to eat, and it will not be a bread of adversity, it will be a bread of prosperity when we are working with God. And he gives us good sleep, health restoring sleep. We claim that promise. Behold, children are a heritage from the Lord. So we will marry and we will have children, keep our marriage lifelong. So we meet our partner in life. Yes. We meet our partner in life for all we have. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior. The fruit of the womb is the reward. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior, so are the children of one's youth. Happy is the man who has his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but shall speak with their. We have every victory at the gate. This is what God has planned for you. And if you need any more clips on this subject or on my usual subject, brain and screen, please send a WhatsApp to +94 74 211 5011. If you need a cost-free consultation for your kids' digital addiction or for any other learning problem, please give a telephone call to 074 151 2801. God bless you.